is where InDesign gets a little bit complicated is in doing automatic page numbers. So putting a page number at the bottom of your page or wherever that will automatically change depending on where your page gets moved in the document. That can be sometimes a little bit difficult, and table of contents as well can be a little bit difficult. So I'm going to go through quickly how to do those. They're not difficult as such, it's just they're not as simple as other programs like Google Docs where you kind of just make it happen. But it does kind of work the same way in Google Docs in that you can set a text style, and we'll get into that. So the first thing I'm going to do is how you create a page number. So page numbers, we click on a master page, we put a text box in, and then we go type, insert special character, and markers. And then you can put current page number in. It'll give you a little A there. So we can go A, we can double click to move, and then we can center the page. And then I'm going to put it over on the other side of my page, if I can get in close enough to do it. So I'll zoom in a little bit more, center it. So the purple line tells me it's centered, the green lines tell me that it's in line with the other bits of text. Okay, so now that's on the red master pages. We can see it's page 2, and we've got page 2 and page 3 there. Now it won't show up on my green well, it'll show up on the other red ones, but anywhere that I've got a green one, it won't show up, and that's because it's not on that master page. To do that, you have to manually copy and paste it over onto the other master page. So this might be one of the things you want to do first before you start changing and editing your master pages. But it's not too hard to do. So we've got our contents there. We've got, our page numbers. And I think the reason that we want to do it, the reason that I think it's good that InDesign does it this way is if we've got a front page that we don't want a page number on, it won't show up. So we've got our white page there, and then we've got our 2 and 3. We continue on. We got 4, 5, 6, and 7, and it continues onto our green page like that. If you move a page around, it automatically will change that page number, which I think is nice. You can also go into, where are we? Where was it? Sorry. You can also go in and change the sort of things like where it starts. So I'm pretty sure we've got in I completely forgot what I was doing, so I'm just going to skip it and I'll come back to it if I can think about it. But that's alright. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm doing these off the top of my head. So we want to do a table of contents now. So I was looking for, and it said that you can put in a table of contents. You can go and put in basic paragraph styles, chuck it in. But you're going to get a whole bunch of things that you don't necessarily want. We can see headings is on page 2, but also our DS, whatever it is on here. So you've got headings, which is just the body text as well as this. And we don't want to have that. So to change that, because, well, if I type anything into here, for example, so if I just start typing my text, and then it won't update automatically. Unfortunately, InDesign doesn't do that like Google Docs does. You would have to go and layout, table of contents, and do it again. So you want to do this right at the end. But you'll see that it puts all that extra information in like it was another heading, and we don't want that. So what we need to do is use something called paragraph styles. Now, that is in styles, paragraph styles here. Okay. So we can put a whole bunch of paragraph styles in, and we can name them. So we can go, I want this to be headings. I want this to be basic paragraph or body text. And if you click on a text box, you can skip in between all of the different sizes. Now, if you right click on it, it takes you into this very intense set of options. So you can go in, you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the leading, which is the space between lines, you can change the kerning, You can change the tracking, so that's the space in between your letters. You can change what case everything is going to be, so you could change everything to all capital letters quite easily with just a click of a button, or you could change it back to small caps, which we never need to worry about. You can change the scale, the skew to turn everything into italics, so you can even go down to individual degrees with that. You can change the alignment of everything. So realistically, you could take a text box and in one button push change literally everything about it. So sizing, spacing, whether you hyphenate, whether you justify, if you've got drop caps, grep style, which I don't even know what grep is, but so you can change what kind of bullet points go into it, how the underlines and strike throughs work, what kind of tagging you're going to put on the fonts if you end up outputting this as a website. There's crazy amounts of stuff. So I could say I want my headings to be, I don't know, we'll use Times New Roman because we're using it for everything. I want my headings to be 30 point Times New Roman bold. Okay. So that means if you click on headings there, it's going to say headings. If I click on TOC, it's going to go back to the other one, table of contents. And if I go basic paragraph, it's going to go like this. So I can now go onto any of my text boxes. So this one here, and I'll convert that to a heading. I can go to, I don't know, wherever I got some more text that I would want to put in there. I can put another text box in. I can go, I don't want to be on my, am I on my master pages? No, okay. So I could put, I've got this one here, this heading here, I could change that to be another heading. Now when I go into, let's delete this table of contents, layout, table of contents, let's change it. So we're going to, this is how we do a new table of contents. So right now, what's going to be included in the table of contents is anything with the paragraph style basic paragraph. We don't want that, so we remove that. What we want is for headings to be the ones we're looking for. So that way, anything that's tagged with headings will have that going on and will appear in the table of contents. We could change it so there's no page number. We could do it so the page number goes before the text. We could change the character style. We could change sort of letters. We can do so many different things. Now, that's going to have, if I hit OK now, it's going to generate that text box. It's going to be quite large because it's going to be that bold heading size that we had before. We can go in and we can edit the way that that looks, so we can change it back to standard regular 12 point. It's not going to change any of the other headings. We can then go in and, you know, we could justify it left. We could add some tabs in to make sure everything lines up. We could get rid of our enter, so we could hold down Shift and Enter to do a soft return. What a soft return lets you do is it lets you stop with that line spacing there. So instead of having the big line, we have a direct line underneath. So Shift and Enter to do a soft return. If you don't want it to look like a completely different paragraph, you just want to change the lines with it. Okay. So that said, if you move the page number, the contents don't auto reload, which is annoying to say the least. That's why you want to do it at the very end. So just leave a spot in your portfolio to do that. Okay. So I think that pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about. The only other thing is numbering and section options. Okay. So you could change it so you automatic page number. You could change it so you start page numbering at page, I don't know, 2 for some reason. And what that's going to do is, let's have a look. That would mean that we're going to start at page 2, which is our contents page, and then we immediately start at page 3. So that would mean that, you know, you could say the front cover is page 1, 2, 3. And the good thing about that is that it means your marker will see the 80 pages quite easily, because we don't want to be sort of lying about page numbers for that sort of thing. We can also change it so certain sections have Roman numerals. So I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's an option. So there's lots of possibilities with this. Okay, so that's how you do paragraphs, and that's how you do page numbers. So like I said, kind of complicated, but Gives you a lot more options, like everything in InDesign. So make sure you ask me if you need any help with it. Sounds good.